Mexico history. Yet, it's never been publicized. But now, the secret is out, and it was captured on camera.
Tonight, News 13 investigative reporter Larry Barker shows us the never-before-seen video of a monumental inmate uprising involving one of the state's most notorious serial killers.
I was extremely outraged that these breaches occurred under our watch.
This is the very kind of breach that causes people to die.
This was being operated like a preschool in terms of security.
September 23rd last year. It's a quiet evening on cell block 3 at the Northeast New Mexico prison. But hang on, all hell is about to break loose. What happened that night was explosive, but it's been kept under wraps for months. A News 13 investigation finds a host of sloppy, reckless security blunders at this privately run prison outside Clayton led to the most significant New Mexico inmate uprising in the last 20 years.
What happened that evening was unacceptable.
Secretary David Jablonski oversees the state's prison system.
On that night, was that a safe facility?
That night, with these violations that occurred, no. There was major security breaches, so it wasn't safe.
Santa Fe attorney Mark Donatelli led the public defender's Riot defense team following the 1980 Santa Fe prison uprising. He reviewed documents relating to the Clayton incident.
Larry, I had to read these documents over and over because I couldn't comprehend what I was reading, that so many things could have gone so wrong at so many levels for so long.
The Northeast Prison Complex is operated for the state by a private company, the Geo Group. 625 medium security inmates are housed here. Cell Block 3 is reserved for violent or disruptive inmates who pose security threats. At 9:05 p.m. on September 23rd, Correctional Officer Matt Schreiner strolls the Cell Block 3 catwalk. He pauses at a locked cell, reaches in the door slot, and is handed contraband. Schreiner then surreptitiously passes it to an inmate next door. Moments later, the young security guard stops at cell 203 to chat with one of the most dangerous inmates in the entire prison system. You probably know his name. Clifton Bloomfield is a notorious serial killer who was sentenced to 195 years after he murdered 5 people in Albuquerque 10 years ago. A few words are exchanged, and then, inexplicably, Schreiner unlocks Bloomfield's cell door. Why? Well, Schreiner later told investigators he just didn't remember allowing the convicted killer out of his cell. Bloomfield jumps the unarmed guard and overpowers him. With a shank at his neck, the prison guard is taken hostage. Bloomfield grabs Schreiner's keys and proceeds to unlock cell doors. Schreiner is able to break away. He dashes down steps to the first floor, grabs his walkie-talkie, and runs for help. With keys to the entire 40-man cell block and no guards, the inmates take control. Cell doors are unlocked, and some of the most dangerous prisoners in the state go on a rampage. The main entry door is barricaded. Some prisoners use their newfound freedom to settle scores. One inmate, a suspected informant, is assaulted in his cell, his throat slashed. Other inmates disable the prison's surveillance cameras. They start a fire and trash the cell block. The prison's riot response team assembles outside. They flood the cell block with tear gas and flash grenades. About an hour after the uprising began, prison security dressed in riot gear gained control. The entire cell block is declared a crime scene. Inmates are rounded up, handcuffed, and escorted one by one to the prison's day room. The inmate who was attacked is found in cell 109 unconscious in a pool of blood. Officers drag him out and call an ambulance. Ringleader Clifton Bloomfield is handcuffed and escorted out of the trashed cell block to the medical unit. The prison complex is placed on lockdown, and a Department of Corrections investigation is launched.
So what went wrong that night? Well, at the top of the list, prison understaffing. According to the state investigation, staff vacancies at the GEO Group's Clayton facility are, quote, dangerously inadequate. On September 23rd, 20 staff members were required to fully secure the prison. 12 of those positions were mandatory. That night, however, only 9 correctional officers were present.
That night, they